Welcome to Stock Market Funding, and what we're going to talk about is recapitulation. And recapitulation is just the opposite of the capitulation that we saw last week. And what we had really tried to do for people was show what that kind of an event was live. And you know what? A lot of people do not understand capitulation. They like to make comments. They think they know what it was. They have these great big ideas. Well, if you were there in 1987, the day after capitulation, when you tried to trade IBM, the bid was 50% wide in the ask. Well, so wide, the bid and ask were so wide you couldn't even trade then. Well, look, I'm going to show you a gap right here, part of the futures gap. We have the biggest futures gap in Dow history. Never seen before on the opening bell and pre-market. That means our stock markets haven't opened. They came out with the $1 trillion package over the weekend, including the U.S. We have a 400-point futures gap right now. The S&P is gapping up 50 points in pre-market. We will be opening big. The NASDAQ futures are up 77 points in pre-market, and you can see here Apple closes at 235, gapping up about $13. You can see here 493 was the close, and naturally we have a big gap. Basically what I'm trying to tell people is there's capitulation, recapitulation. It's just like being in a gambling casino. Here's First Solar right here, closed at 122.55, gapping up to almost 130. So that meant that all the short sellers, and this is the biggest Dow gap in history. And hey, we had a 1,000-point drop, except this one here is going to be different on the opening bell, because everybody that was trying to short the market, SMF, was buying that market at the bottom. Last week we have videotapes that shows you that we were buying it. What we really want to tell you is that the ECB brings back all of these leaders got together to bail this thing out, because everybody thinks that all these bailouts, how much money that the U.S. actually put into it, I'm not sure. But I am telling you that prices are gapping up big. And I just showed some prices here. Let's take a look and see the Baidu. Now, if this isn't a roller coaster, you tell me what is. Here you go. Baidu closed at 639. That's a $35, $40 gap. So on the opening bell, other than the capitulation you experience on the way down, is a pre-market futures gap on the opening bell. Everyone that was short will have to buy to cover. Too bad for them. We were buying lots of stuff up. That's what you buy on the bottom of capitulation. There is a mechanical process that's going to be going on. And this is more or less your casino activity. And it's the biggest futures gap in U.S. history on the Dow. You can see $35 gap. You can see the huge gaps in pre-market. And on the opening bell, we'll do another videotape. People will be going quite wild and quite crazy. And that means that the stock market orders will automatically be electronically executed, and it's really going to be something to see how the opening bell is. Biggest Dow future gap in U.S. history. And once again, welcome to stockmarketpunding.com. Going to be a lot of money to be made today. A lot of the calls that we bought are going to get up there in value. A lot of positions that we bought at the bottom, stockmarketpunding.com. We tried to show people what the capitulation was, as what that emotion would be. That's really not our emotion, but we wanted to simulate that emotion so that people would know what it was like. And it did a good job. We got a lot of responses. Hey, want to learn how to be a trader? This is the place to be.